So I know it's been a minute since I've done an off-script episode, but I would hope that after the last few weeks of episodes, people kind of realize that I was stuck in the Sundance world for a while and then needed a breather. But I am back with my dear friend, Christl. And while Christl is not directly in the true crime industry, if you will, she is one of the most incredible people I've ever met, one of the most intelligent people I have ever met. And then we talk about the creative that you are, and you just blow my mind. So I'm going to bring people up to speed with how you got in my world because it's been a little over 5 years. Let's be real, 5 years. So if you listen to my third personal tale, you know that I have spent a little time at Sundance, and Christl was one of my first coworkers when I officially became a seasonal employee. So that means her and I worked at PCBO at the Park City box office during Sundance 2020. So it was literally right before shit hit the fan with the pandemic. So obviously. But with that being said, I find out she's a filmmaker, she's an artist, she is here to rule the world. Like I so first and foremost, hi Christl, welcome to Off Script.
Hello, Celene. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of
I realized
course.
I met you you were like, I don't have a man. Uh, I want one, but I don't have one. And then like through Sundance, you got one. Like I didn't get one, but I'm happy it worked out for one of us.
Well, I mean, I technically didn't meet him through Sundance. I mean, it was like our whole relationship was like founded on Sundance, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was in a weird point in my life when we first met. But yeah, life has taken some drastic changes. I would even say for you, there have been some changes. So, right off the
Mm-hmm.
top, and why I'm having Christl on this podcast. So, first and foremost, even though I am a true crime producer, filmmaker, and all the other things, I think it's really important that I actually hear from consumers because
Mm-hmm.
this conversation is an evolving one, if you will. And the one thing that I noticed, because I'm a big follower of Crystal's Letterboxd, and if you don't know what Letterboxd is, it is this wonderful, fabulous app that essentially allows you to log the films that you watch. And if you want to leave a review, you can, ratings, what have you. And without fail, if I see that you watched something, regardless of what it is, I have to read what you wrote. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
know that. Uh,
Sometimes it's just snarky because
but
sometimes
that's what
I'm
I
just
like.
watching things. I don't even know why I put them on sometimes. Just because the algorithm's like, you might like this. And then I have to, at least Netflix has a thumbs down, you know? And be like, don't
Yeah,
show me
that's true.
anything like this again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like
Well, I like it though.
Hulu. Hulu has the autoplay. That's kind of nice. It's kind of like watching cable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's a
have,
little nostalgic.
okay. I like that. I can see why that would be good.
Yeah, I'm like, please don't make me think. Please don't make
Yeah.
me like choose something else. Please just like throw something on.
So, well, to segue into that then, because you do consume true crime. And
Mm-hmm.
when I realized that, I was like, Christl, I know your thoughts about other worldly views, but we're talking about an industry that is founded on primarily white victims, white
Mm-hmm.
stories created by white creatives.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, as a kid, I was watch everyone watches Law and Order. It's been on since 1999,
Hmm.
which is like most millennials'
Hmm.
lifetime. So obviously I started with that, and I'd never been in New York. So of course, first I went to New York, I was like, spinning my head around like, was any of that stuff true? But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so it was
Mhm.
like I feel like it was Law and Order, and then when I was a kid, there was a local news like of our county, and I
Sure.
grew up by Atlantic City,
Mhm.
New Jersey. There's one in Wyoming. I
Oh,
have questions. But
many.
yeah, and I feel like I remember one crime that they were always reporting were like when prostitutes would get arrested
Yeah.
and they would show their faces. And then
Mhm.
like, but as a kid, I was like, oh, like don't do that. That's bad. You know, how like your
Yeah.
moral code as a kid is like black and white.
Right.
And then of course, you know, by age 13, you know, there's more to it than that. You
Right.
realize, you know, it's not like black and white, like
Mhm.
Christian morals, like that is bad. It's more like,
Mhm.
oh, well, how come I never see like a man's face? You know, how come I never see like a
Mm.
man getting arrested or anything
Mm.
like that? So I feel like that was like the first time I was aware of the ethics.
Got it.
And I know
Yeah.
like, you know, Law and Order, Criminal Minds. I watched the biography channel. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh they would
That
have
surprises me.
like what did they have? They had a little bit of everything, didn't they? You
Back
know,
in
they
the
had,
day, yeah.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
stuff about gangs, I remember,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
um, which is kind of interesting now because we see like white people doing crip walk, because Kendrick did it. I was like, y'all don't even know what that is. I just think it's so funny that they just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if funny is the right word, but like
It's
if they
interesting. Yeah.
if they knew, I think they would still do it though. I think that's
Mhm.
the thing.
Mhm. Well, it's kind of like back in the day, I'm gonna call this out that growing up the N-word in rap
Hmm.
songs were not omitted.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school and high school and college. Hell,
Hmm.
you
Yeah, people
know?
would still say it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know it was a bad word. I thought it was just a word
Yeah.
until I
Yeah.
said it at school. And all the white kids told me it was a bad word. I was like, "Oh,
Well,
okay."
I took a hip hop and culture class in
Mm,
college, taught by a black professor. And
yes,
we
amazing.
had a very, very, very long week talking about the N-word.
Hmm.
And I would say like from that point forward, it was very
Mm,
crystal clear that
yeah.
you don't say that. It doesn't matter that it's in music. You don't say that.
Yeah.
And so but then getting out into regular world, into regular life where I'm in a
Hmm.
red state with,
Hmm.
you know, predominantly white people, I didn't know how to educate them on that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I still, even to this day, I feel like people, because I am white passing, because I don't have a strong Latin accent, people
Hmm.
often feel that I am white. And so when I have to remind people, I am not. There
Hmm.
is no white here. Um, then I get a little bit of leverage. But that's very interesting though, that both of our experiences then
Hmm.
we're talking about the education system. So with that, you know, bringing this into further
Hmm.
conversation, because when we're talking about crimes, right? That's the other
Hmm.
part of it is that
Hmm.
especially in today's administration, when we are talking about crimes, who's the fault? Who's at fault? It's going to be the Hispanics and
Hmm.
Latinos, the Black community, and everyone else, right?
Hmm.
So how
Yeah.
does that then trickle into the content that you are watching, and how do you like reconcile those things?
Um, Before I answer that, I would like to say that I know you said like part of the reason you think people are comfortable around you like
Hmm.
saying the N word is because like you're white passing.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't clock you as white when I met you.
Good.
Maybe that's just because I'm not white. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like clocking people that aren't white when I walk in the room. I'm like, okay, not white, not white, not white. But I do
Hmm.
think that white people um they test the waters when they're like around a person of I mean, I want to say person of color. I don't know. I don't know what they do around Asian people, but
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, it's safe. You're a safe one. You know, you're a good one," kind of
Mm.
thing. So I think it might be that more than you being white passing. But I can't speak for white people, obviously.
No, I mean, that's
Um,
fair because often people are very confused by me. So then,
okay.
or people will look at me and be like, "You're mixed, right? Like you're half white, half black." I'm like, "No,
That's
I've,
so interesting.
oh, I've gotten Pacific Islander,
Hmm.
Asian,
Oh yeah,
uh,
Asian.
but I would say white and black is probably
Oh,
50
they think you're
with
like
Hispanic.
mixed white and black.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because I never assume people are mixed race. I feel like as an adult, I've met more mixed race people than
Sure.
as a child. I mean, maybe I just didn't grow up somewhere where there was a lot of interracial
Yeah.
relationships,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
remember actually in high school, my friend is Filipino, and then like he told someone, and they were like, "Does that mean you're black?" And we were like, "No, that's not, no,
Oh boy.
no."
Yeah.
So it's just funny, like phenotypes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it happens. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, not
and
to me, but yeah, I'm
well, that's
sure.
good. I'm glad. Especially because of my name. I think that's the other part too now, where
Hmm.
I do have a very white presenting name. So
Oh, yeah.
people often very much assume, and I can't help that my mom does have like French whatever descent in her, and she's always loved French names, and that's
Hmm.
my name is French. So there you go. Like that's really
Yeah.
what it boils down to. But it's interesting because when I'm looking at the landscape as a creative in the true crime space, right?
Hmm.
I have a totally different lens. Now, understanding though that I don't necessarily want to use the term victimology, but when we're
Hmm.
talking about a victim ranking system, okay,
Hmm.
basically the way that I have learned to critically analyze this industry, we're talking about white crimes
Hmm.
that are elevated because there's always like this formula. Like, if it's a pretty woman or a pretty girl, they're going to mention that. One of my good friends the other night did a show here in Utah, and what I thought was so interesting, and I loved that she said to this crowd, she said, if you are ever watching a news station or maybe even like a documentary series, and for the victim, they put a picture of a mugshot of a victim,
Hmm.
you already are going to have a distant kind of emotion to that, right? And so that already puts society in the mindset of, okay, well, this person obviously has done something wrong in their life. So the justice that they are seeking isn't as high as Bonnie over here, right? Blue-eyed,
Hmm.
blonde hair, what have you. So so going back, like when you are looking at that formula, because you even just
Hmm.
said right now, when I open Netflix, this Gabby Petito doc is already front and
Hmm.
center. Talk to me why you have issues with that doc.
Okay. So I feel like I had issues with it just because of why I know who she is,
Yes.
right? Like part of it was like, okay, this girl was killed like through domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's kind of like taking sides. I feel like a lot of these domestic violence cases are kind of like pick a side. I'm like, well, the
Mm-hmm.
truth, the truth is the only side.
Yes. Yep.
So it's kind of like, especially because she was like Gen Z, so she had this vlog that she was making.
Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays, like moving forward, these victims are going to have like a big digital footprint. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
really meant to be like something for you to mine to make money with later. Or
Mm-hmm.
even just like if you go back and watch those vlogs, I know we like YouTube, they give you money after a certain point. Like, where does the money go? Like, who gets it? Not her.
Right. Right. Right.
Even the reason you're even watching it is because she's not alive anymore.
Mm.
Like, if she was alive, you wouldn't know she existed,
Oh my
and that would
gosh.
be better for,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she just get to be a regular person, not in this domestic violence relationship, I'd
Yeah.
imagine.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I just like wonder like the permission and
Mhm. The
I know,
consent.
yeah, I know
Mm-hmm.
like, even my sister, let me think. Oh God, time moves really fast. So when my sister's a few years younger than me. When
Mm-hmm.
she was still in high school, one of her friends died,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know, like, well, she was killed. We don't know how. We don't know who did it. It's like a
Oh.
mystery, you know. It's like
Is it a
you,
cold case then still?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you would, someone would make a movie about this, right? Like,
Yes.
because there's a whole trope of missing women
Mm-hmm.
in media.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, maybe even last year, they actually made like this true crime doc about her. And
You're
it was,
kidding.
yeah. And it was so,
Oh no.
it made my sister so uncomfortable. And, I didn't really need this to happen for me to have like these ethical issues about it. But it was mostly weird because people would ask my sister like about the doc and about the girl that was killed. But it was weird because what do you want my sister to say?
Oh my
Like
gosh.
that she knew her? Because she did. That's why you're asking her. You know what I mean? Like you would never
Right.
ask about this person if they were still alive.
Right.
So that's,
100%.
yeah. Or else she would
Mm-hmm.
just be a person. She would
Mm-hmm.
just exist in the world among us.
My goodness. I didn't know that, first of all. And you are speaking my language
Hmm.
because this is what I'm screaming about. I will die
Yeah.
on this hill screaming about consent. And I'm not talking about
Hmm.
traditional consent. I'm talking about consent of
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
because I can't imagine, especially crimes that have been committed within like the last 5, even 10 years.
Hmm.
I do find myself struggling with that more and more and more.
Hmm.
And unless it comes from the family directly saying we really want a project done on this, because I'm gonna tell you now, I mean, I would say even like 80 to 90% of these series or shows or what
Hmm.
have you, they're going to be done regardless. If,
Yeah.
if somebody directly asks, well, I want to share my story and I want this to be a series, which is very uncommon. I'm just going to
Hmm.
say that now. So I have been in positions before, which I've shared on the podcast before, where I am the person researching and booking for maybe a whole series. And one in particular, I had a family, including friends, say, we do not want one more thing
Hmm.
about our loved one. I go back to my showrunner, tell them this information, and they tell me what is my job. What is
Ooh.
what am I hired to do? They don't care. That doesn't matter.
Mm.
They're still going to do it.
Oh, that's icky.
It is very icky. And then I transitioned to my next show, to
Mm.
the next series. A Basically I was doing, I'm going to shout it out, The Real Murders of Los Angeles and The Real Murders of Orange County. And I was
Hmm.
working on both of them at the same time, um, with the same production company. With that said, literally, I don't know how many times in a producing meeting, if a no was a no by the
Hmm.
family, it's a no across the board. We move on. We don't even sit there and talk about it and dwell on it. Where I have been in other producing rooms where they're like, okay, well, what can you do to get them on board? Can you call them back? Can you do X, Y, and Z? Can you da da da? Like, I'm sharing this information so people fully understand why I'm screaming about ethics and true crime.
Hmm.
Because I will take it even a step further and gladly shared that there are production companies, there are filmmakers, there are producers in this world who exist who play by a code of ethics. And they are
Mhm.
doing it damn well. So it does happen and it can happen. So when I see and hear shit like this that you're sharing with me, I want to lose my shit. Because once again, we are talking about real lives. We are talking about
Mhm.
real people. You just said the reason that this person asked your sister is
Mhm.
because your sister obviously was friends with the victim.
Mhm.
Talk about how traumatizing that must feel, right?
Mhm.
And in to go off of your point about Gabby Petito, having this be a domestic violence case and you're supposed to pick a side, this is the narrative that we are watching time and time again when it comes
Mhm.
to abuse and it comes to the media. Everyone saw, the police footage from the Moab Police Department questioning Gabby about, about her being the instigator, right?
Mhm.
Not Brian. So when we're talking about DV and we're talking about all of this and how it is treated in the media, especially when it comes to murder,
Mhm.
grow the fuck up. Domestic violence is an escalation process, right? Like it starts very small and then it can fester and it can brew and it can become actual unaliving somebody. And again, and it's something that I'm so passionate about. But I also want to raise awareness to another issue because I'm gonna circle back and I'm gonna like loop this all into a little package so people fully understand.
Mhm.
Because I want to make it very distinctly clear that I live and operate in two different worlds, in film and in television. When we're talking about the Sundance Film Festival, which you have also returned to over the years as well
Mhm.
with me, you and I know that the likelihood of BIPOC and queer-friendly films, especially documentaries, are pretty high regarded. And Kokomo City was one that really spoke to you. Can you talk to me about that film and why?
Yeah. Okay. So they actually were Sundance showed two black trans women
That
documentaries that
year.
year. Yeah. So
That's
it's
right.
Kokomo City and The Stroll.
Yes, I saw the
And
stroll.
Kokomo City was interesting just because it was just kind of like, okay, this is what it's like to be a sex worker,
Hmm.
a trans sex worker. And they're very candid about how many times they get thrown in jail, like having a gun pulled on them by Johns, like all of
Hmm.
this abuse that they go through and all these situations they end up in. But they're also like, what else am I supposed to do?
Right. Right.
Like this is my only like economic
That's their
option
income.
for freedom, if you even
Yes,
want to call it freedom.
exactly.
It's a
Right.
livelihood, but like at what cost? And then I believe by the time the film was streaming, one of the women in the documentary had died.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just recommend that to everyone because, you see, in February, because Black History Month, everyone puts their 28 films out, and there's
Hmm.
none about trans women.
Hmm.
So it's definitely a shortcoming. And obviously, if I knew any films about trans men, I would plug them here too. But
Yeah.
these two films, at least, I know exist, and I know they're on HBO Max.
Boom.
And I tell people to watch them because they break your brain a little bit.
We need that.
Yeah, especially because The Stroll
Hmm.
also gets into like city planning.
Hmm.
Is it Giuliani? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like clean the streets,
Yeah.
and like I don't know if you've ever been to the Meatpacking District, but
Mm-mm.
um,
But
it's
I'm
like
familiar from Sex in the City, so I
okay.
know what it
So
is.
now it's like squeaky clean. Like I don't
Really?
think people. I don't think there's apartments there, but sorry, if
Mm,
you can afford apartments there, then I guess you live there. Um,
yeah.
but there's like a car dealership. Just imagine like a car dealership in Manhattan. Like, does
Oh,
that make any
Lord.
sense? Yeah. There's an Apple store. Like, it's just completely a tourist attraction
Wow.
now
Oh my
versus,
gosh.
in the Stroll, we're seeing like these were encampments
Yes.
for, you know, queer and trans youth and
Hmm.
adults that had nowhere else to go. And it was its own ecosystem for
Hmm.
survival.
Hmm.
And I think the one thing that stayed with me about the Stroll was that woman that gets out of jail like after 25 years. Like she goes to jail in the 90s
Yeah. Yeah.
and she gets out in like what, like 2015 or something.
Hmm.
And her plan was just to go back.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think about her all the time.
Mm.
I want to know what she's up to.
You should find her and you should reach out to her.
Me, I can't like offer anything. I'm just curious.
No. But I think what's really important, and when we're talking about doc subjects, especially because the one thing that I have found, as you know, when I go to Fest, my my lineup is usually like pretty doc heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so over those years, connecting with the subjects
Mm-hmm.
means more to them than you probably realize.
Mm-hmm.
So even
That's a
if
good
you
point.
were just to say, I see you, I hear you, I think about you often, can
Yeah.
go along. So an example I'll give you, staying in the true crime world, uh, and I talked about her. I talked about Drew Dixon,
Mm-hmm.
from On the Record, which was also 2020 during our tenor together. And when we're talking about, and I would love for you to weigh in on this as well. I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen this doc, but I need you to. Um, because there is such,
Wait,
let me,
is this the R. Kelly one? Oh, no,
this
no.
is Russell
What?
Simmons
Oh,
and
okay.
L.A. Reid.
I might be able to stomach that.
Let me tell you why you should.
I know I can't stomach a R. Kelly doc. I know that.
Well, yes,
I know
we
I
can
can't.
talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tamara Simmons is a good friend of mine who did that one, and I don't blame you. That one is I sat and binged it in one night. So I understand why not. This
Yeah.
one, yes, there are hard moments, but I think there are some very crucial conversations happening that probably going to bring you back once you watch this because I would love to break this down with you. And the hope is that Drew will also be able to join me on the podcast. There's some legal stuff in the background that we're working through right now, but it is very important because I want to talk about the Me Too movement and how it essentially ostracized women of color and did not necessarily give the same amplification that it did to white survivors, you know. And while every survivor matters, it's
Mm-hmm.
still an epidemic, if you will. Hearing how these other Black survivors in this film,
Mm-hmm.
were talking and talking about what Me Too means to them, it is such an important conversation that's actually not happening that we need to
Mm-hmm.
be having, especially when we find out that there are so many predators
Mm-hmm.
in this industry. Obviously, I know that as well. So when we look at something like that, because this was such a big movement,
Yeah.
what
Air
was that
quotes.
like? Like, what was that echo chamber like? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, what is the signaling to you of something like that?
Well, okay. That was 2017, right?
Yep, that's like right when it
Okay.
peaked.
Yeah. So what's interesting was that was my last year of college.
Mm.
So I had actually interviewed, I don't know what this event was. They had like an event where a bunch of like people in media came, I guess like a
Okay.
career day or something.
Yeah.
And I had actually interviewed all these people about the Me Too movement. And one of the
Wow.
women was, she had just published an op-ed about what Dustin Hoffman had done to her when they were in a play together.
Oh my gosh.
So, like for me, and I mean, I have like a PDF of it. I actually ended up winning Best Profile Award. My first
Will you send that to me?
Sure. It's old.
Goodness.
I'm not even sure how good the writing is, but
I don't care.
yeah. So it was like, I don't know. I remember asking like kind of these, I was like 21, so who knows how good the questions were. Um, yeah, but I just remember, I guess that was my first time like engaging with a victim that way and
Mm,
like having, I know who Dustin Hoffman is. I've walked by him. He's always walking around New York, so I've just like seen him in the
Jesus.
flesh before. And
Really?
like I've seen, Tootsie and Rain Man,
Yeah.
So at that moment it was like, okay, so um do I separate art from the artist? Like never,
Mm.
especially after meeting her, never.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Kanye
Oh,
doesn't exist.
no. No. He's
You
dead to
know,
me. He's been
like you
dead to
can
me.
list these people off and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
can't even. I was at my friend's party and like R. Kelly came on. I was like, turn this off. What are turn this off? Why is this even
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like I was also the only black person there, so I feel like if
Mm.
I was around black people that wouldn't happen. But yeah, so it was like that was kind of my moment. I'm like, okay, artist equal.
Yes. I
Because and then I'm pretty sure this was like around the same time. I worked on a film set
mm-hmm.
and the actress had known it was when the Kevin Spacey stuff was coming out.
Oh shit.
And she knew one of his victims.
Ugh.
And she was like, yeah, he's not doing so well, like this victim. I was like, okay. And then don't you know the next week my teacher was showed us American Beauty and all of us were disgusted. We were like disgusted with her.
Oh.
And she was like, why? Like she was like, what? Like that ruins the movie? And we were like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Especially, I mean, she didn't know that I had just met like,
A survivor. Yeah.
or like a person that knows a survivor. She didn't know
Right.
that,
Right.
She just thought
Right.
this is in our curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
We saw
Oh
the
my
curriculum in
goodness.
September. We knew we were going to watch this, but we were like, you could have swapped it out. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like a
Yeah.
melt. Like,
Oh my
so
gosh.
I feel like with me, I don't know if this is just my personality. Um, I mean, probably is, right?
No.
Written in the stars, astrology, whatever. Um, that like to me, it's like, okay, you give me like one person to hate, like, good, that's one less person I can engage with. Like, it's a big world.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people make movies, a lot of people make music, a lot of people make art. I'll just find someone else to fill that gap.
Yeah. It's important. And I think you raise a very important question, separating the artist from the art. And I I can't. I literally can't. I would say the most glaring one, I would say
Mm-hmm.
Kanye's I haven't even gone into the Kanye stuff on this podcast yet, and I will one day. But I would say him and Michael Jackson are right here when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the two
Mm-hmm.
people that I would gladly never want to hear about ever again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Finding Neverland was another doc that's available on HBO featuring Wade Robson and another male victim. Now, with that being said, I should say survivor, Michael Jackson is the reason I became a dancer. Michael Jackson's
Yeah.
music is the reason that I am heavily into music.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first album was Michael. Uh it's hard because this is somebody that I looked up to for years and years and years and years and years. His music is not even allowed in like my immediate family's like events. We all
Mm-hmm.
collectively have wiped him
Yeah.
from our memory and whatever as best as we can. But the hard part is with this guy is when, because I'm a lover of music docs,
Hmm.
very much deeply in love with this genre. So I watched The Greatest Night in Pop at Sundance last year
Hmm.
and absolutely mind blown. One of the greatest, if not one of the greatest music docs I've seen right there with Montage of Heck.
Hmm.
I can't deny how heavily emphasized it was that Michael was like a big culprit of why it was such a success.
Hmm.
Um, Outside of all the other incredible people that were a part of it, like Lionel Richie. Now, with that being said, I get flashbacks to Finding Neverland, though, if I do have to hear about him. And I would say the
Hmm.
level of molestation accusations, I don't even want to call them accusations because, like, at this rate, it's so hard for me to believe that nothing happened. I
Hmm.
do not live in that world where I'm like, well, no. When it comes to children and it comes especially to adolescent boys, I'm going to be screaming
Mm.
from the rooftops
Yeah.
about this. And so when we're talking about, yeah, doing that separation, I can't do it because those mental images, their stories, all of those things live inside of my brain now. And R.
Hmm.
Kelly is another one of them. And that one was equally as upsetting because the amount of survivors they interviewed in the first chunk of that series is asinine. And
Hmm.
then you throw in somebody like Kanye, who also now has rape allegations against him. But
Mm.
people are
I didn't
still
know that.
using his music. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
Plenty.
I was with him, I clocked out like, you know that song like Black Skinhead, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people were calling it genius because it has the strange fruit sample
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
And I thought it was weird. I was like, why are you sampling this song? Like, this is a sacred song. I mean, even if
Yes.
you're not black, like you listen to lyrics, you're like chill, like a chill goes
Yes.
down your spine.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
then, I'm reading, you know, uh I guess people, I don't know if it's like analysis or what. They're like, oh, it's genius because like this song is about like, you know, lynching, or the song that's being sampled is about lynching, and then he's talking about like all this frivolous stuff and like how we get distracted from it. I'm like, I don't think so, because what does skinhead have to do with that? You know,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
because in my high school we had skinheads,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, no. And
Mm-hmm.
the black kids would fight them sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, and this is before everything was a surveillance state, so
Right.
if I don't see it, it didn't happen.
And that's the hard part is because I fell for that for so
Hmm.
long that he was addressing all these things, but you're kind of hitting on something that's important because I did sometimes feel like I was doing some mental gymnastics for stuff,
Yeah.
especially after his comments on slavery. Um,
Oof.
you
That's
know,
kind of the best way to get me to like never listen to you ever
yeah,
again. Yeah.
right. And so, and I think now I was still back then like, ugh, I was in my young 30s and yeah, I don't know. So so when I think about that and I think about how once again, I men in my world, especially men in this industry, do not have much high regard in my life anymore. If I do like a
Mm-hmm.
male artist, whether they're an actor, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really put too much into it anymore. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
like you, I like your work, but I'm not going to sit here and fan over you anymore. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't have it in me because I have seen it myself now, and I think that's the difference is that unfortunately it took until it happened to me to like, oh, okay. And so when I hear allegations about anybody now, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's
Most
not too hard to
people,
believe.
what's that doc about college campus, like sexual assault on college
You mean the
campuses?
hunting ground?
Yeah. I saw that. You saw it? Yes?
Oh, I
No?
own it.
Okay. I
Now,
only it made me
but
realize that like no one's it's pretty rare that someone lies. I mean, I already thought that, but now I have like
well, can I
a
burst your
doc.
bubble for a second?
Yeah.
It was produced by Harvey Weinstein's production company.
No. I mean, oh, so it was like rehab, PR rehab a little bit.
This came out in 2016. Allegations against him was what, 2017?
Yeah, but I feel like
But they
you
probably
kind of
filmed it in
know.
2014, 2015.
Yeah, but I feel
But
like he might have known he was going down.
oh, he for sure did.
Hmm.
Um, I'm drawing a blank on what the book is called, but the book by the New York Times investigative journalist who did all of the
Hmm.
groundwork of the investigations of, all of these women's allegations. Yes, there is no chance in hell that he didn't know that that was coming. So I
Hmm.
do firmly believe there was some type of reason. Now, I don't know that as fact, so I don't want to sit here and project that because there are very respectful filmmakers who did that film. So I'm just gonna say this on record. My goal is to fucking redo that film and do it 1,000 times better and make sure that messaging isn't lost. So if anyone wants to
Hmm.
fund that, let me know. But
What
yeah,
would you focus on?
similar things, but probably even amplify it more, right? Because now we're
Hmm.
talking about that I have become a spokesperson, even for a particular foundation, for the Laura McCluskey Foundation, when we're
Hmm.
talking about campus safety and talking about Title IX. I also now have my own experience with Title IX.
Yeah, you
So,
could probably also mix in the death of DEI and how that's
oh,
affecting the enforcement.
that, I mean, which is why I'm saying, like, the repercussions of what is happening right now
Hmm.
is drastic and detrimental to students on college campuses.
Yeah.
And now examining that from because that was what did I say, 2016?
Hmm.
So we're talking about 9 years later. So much has
Hmm.
happened on in terms of campus safety, if you will, in those 9 years. Now
Yeah.
I have direct proof of this. And the worst example is Lauren McCluskey's case, which is technically still going, if you will,
Hmm.
because of how many chips just fell apart.
Hmm.
And it's important because I want this next, this alpha generation, including my child, to have a stronger grasp of what actually happens. What can you do? Who can you look for help and resources?
Hmm.
So I really want this to be not just investigative, but I want it to be informative and educational. My goal is to truly create educational documentaries along the way, unless it's a music one and I just want to fangirl. But even then, I mean, even music docs have so much trauma
Yeah. I mean,
laced
I
into
feel
those.
like sometimes you'd be surprised where you learn stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
feel like, did you see Priscilla? Did you see that movie?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I
Hmm.
feel like you should show that to like in high schools.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's such a great example too about grooming
Yeah.
and what that looks like because
Hmm.
I think we also live during a time uh where a lot of like those types of relationships have been romanticized,
Hmm.
especially like in the millennial and Gen X time
Yeah, people
frame,
dress up as
right?
them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I also think her parents, like, I feel like part of maturing is realizing if you have good or bad parents.
Yeah.
Or if you have like bad parents that didn't try, or bad
Hmm.
parents that tried their best and were still bad.
Hmm.
Like,
hmm
I feel there's
Oh yeah.
something about parents in there too.
I mean, and that's usually, I mean, we can even take it to a doc. Did you ever see Hiding in Plain Sight? Is that what it was called?
I don't know if
Yes.
that's what it's called, but
Is
I
it?
know I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, that is probably like the worst and best example of that. Because yeah, I'm not even gonna get into all of it. If I said that wrong, then I will absolutely correct that. But that's on Netflix.
Hmm.
Or was it just called In Plain Sight? Maybe that's what it was called. But truly, like what you just said is really important because I also think, obviously, with so many of these gapped marriages or,
Hmm.
those types of relationships, like parents are usually encouraging it. And actually, Finding Neverland is another perfect example of this because Michael was not only just grooming the kids, he was grooming the parents. Even one
Hmm.
parent thought that he was actually romantically interested in her and went as far as still holding on to the clothing that he
Hmm.
gave her and the way that she was talking about it and holding it. I mean, it's still pretty crystal clear that like she has this infatuation with Michael Jackson, regardless of what her son just shared with the whole entire fucking world. Like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, you
I,
gotta know if you got a bad one or a good one because you can't go to her, you know?
I was just stunned,
Yeah.
stunned. I'm like, how? Those are
Yeah.
some of the worst, like, boy sexual assault allegations I have ever fucking heard.
Hmm.
Period. Like, that is not being me being dramatic, like, horrified by Michael
Hmm.
Jackson. So, yeah, like, I think it is important that is a conversation. And I mean, look at Brian Laundrie's parents, right? And so it's when we're looking at this whole, because when I say true crime, I think people just think of like the standard stuff that they see, but this is a larger, bigger conversation. And as you
Hmm.
shared, like with sex work and in the trans community, I mean, there's so much to cover, but we get the same regurgitated shit time and time and time
Hmm.
again. So it's really on us independent creatives to make this content because like everything else. Okay, so I absolutely wanted to ask you because I knew that you did watch the Lori Vallow Daybell documentary on Netflix.
Hmm.
You're aware of how in depth I got with that case, but
Hmm.
just this week, Dateline says that they are doing an exclusive interview with Lori. Two
Oh,
hours.
how is that? Isn't everyone else dead besides her son? Everyone else is dead, right? Like no one, there's no one that can like speak, right?
Yeah, her son. Colby's still alive. Yeah,
So
yeah. And
it's
I
the
believe
last
he
man
I
standing.
believe he's a part of it. If I remember, if I read that correctly, that he will be featured. Now, with that said, he has been very explicit about his feelings about her. She's currently in Arizona because she's about to stand trial for Charles's murder.
Hmm.
And so I saw a snippet, I believe last night where Keith Morrison is asking her, once again, just standard questions, and she's going all into her stupid cult-like thinking where her and Chad,
Oh,
are
she's
gonna
still
be,
in it
oh,
then, like
she's
up here.
still the
Oh,
fuck
so
in it.
so this is just
Keith
beating a
Morrison
dead
said that,
horse.
yeah, he did say that and I can't remember how he phrased it, but something to the effect of like she very much is still in that mindset that she is a prophet or whatever the
Hmm.
hell that she thinks she is. And that when she died in the afterlife and her visions and God, whatever else. I mean truly, like I wish I could scrap this stuff from my brain. But there is reason to believe that she is actually competent. So
Yeah,
I don't
she
know how,
clearly has a motivation, you
correct,
know?
right,
It's not like she like blacks out and then this has happened, you know?
right,
She's
right.
like cognizant the whole
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like
But
what do
she
you
is blonde, right? Like her hair's still
she's
blonde.
yeah. I mean, she's
Okay.
looking rough now
But
without
still
that
blonde,
Botox, but
blue
she's still
eyes.
blonde. She's still getting makeup from the commissary. I mean, it looked like she looks
Mhm.
done up. I mean, she looks like a
I mean,
clown, but she
her
looks done
hair's
up.
dyed. Her hair's
Hmm.
dyed,
I
right?
think so. I'm like, let me look.
I
I
mean, you would
can't
notice
even.
if it was brown though.
Yeah, I think so, but I think I'm just so drawn to her
Oh,
eyebrows.
I mean, there's probably like, if we think of like the white women that get to
Mm-hmm.
stay in the pop culture,
Mm-hmm.
even, okay, Casey Anthony is like, I saw her trending on Twitter. You saw this?
No. Recently?
Yeah, because she's like being an influencer and like
What?
Gen Z, I don't know what age you have to be to forget about her. Lucky them, but or not
Yes.
know about her. I guess if you don't remember Trayvon, then you probably don't remember her. I feel like those were like the same time. They felt close.
Yeah. And both Florida.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know
Mm-hmm.
what she did.
Mm-hmm. So what does that signal to you then? By giving these white women who have committed the ultimate crime of killing their children, regardless if
Mm-hmm.
their hands are bloody or not, they had
Mm-hmm.
part, a big part in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What does that signal to you?
Um, I mean, I don't think I'm. Ugh. I mean, I guess Casey Anthony doesn't have any more children, right? It was just
Not to
like,
my understanding, I don't believe
yeah,
so.
okay.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, because like, I mean, I guess those two are a weird example because one's in jail and one's not,
Right,
so
right.
it's kind of different
Yeah. And it
in my mind.
just,
Like, okay, is that mom in Detroit? Did you see this? The mom in Detroit, like she was homeless and her two kids froze to death.
no.
And then she is like, I think she is, oof, sorry if this number's too big. I think she has 4 to 6 kids total. Two of
Oh
them
my
froze to
gosh.
death.
Oh
And
my
she had
gosh.
been calling social services asking for a place to stay for months. And her, we'll call him baby daddy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He was housed. He had a place to stay. And he would like, the visitation, he would like pick up his kids and give them back. Like,
Oh my gosh.
she obviously needs you to watch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
the courts do whatever, but okay, but is she going to get charged? Oh, and of
Right.
course, now Detroit has given her a place to stay. Now the Department of, I don't know what department, homeless aid or whatever, has given
Mhm.
her a place to stay, but two of her kids had to die.
See,
And this must happen all the time
yeah,
because, especially
that's not being
because,
reported. That's or it is reported in very small local news, you know,
I mean, if only one kid had died, would I have even heard about it? I'm sure it's just because it was two,
too. Right.
and that's a lot.
That it's beyond disturbing to me because that's what I'm saying. It's like this ongoing trend of of giving the people who do not need a
Mm-hmm.
platform or resources,
Yeah.
right? So so taking that, opening that up a little bit more because the other thing that I definitely wanted to touch on with you, I don't believe you watched either doc that I'm about to bring up. And I'm going to ask you
Okay.
why. Because I know why, but I want people to hear why.
Oh,
And
okay.
there are two docs that I'm bringing to you. And one again was in 2020 that I saw at Sundance, and the other one was last year in
Mm-hmm.
2024. First one I want to talk about is Time. Time is the doc that this black
Mm-hmm.
couple, they were arrested,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Garrett
Okay.
Bradley made that. Yeah.
Yes. We are talking about a film that has archival footage spanning almost 20 years, if not 20 years. I mean, I saw this 5 years ago. My memory might be fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're talking about the level of crime that they committed, it was nowhere near the sentence that either of them were given. His wife did get out sooner than he did,
Mm-hmm.
and she was pregnant at the
Mm-hmm.
time. I believe when the arrests happened, and so she's literally filming her life with the kids and what that did to them while he was in prison. And so we have that. Okay. I'm going to put
Mm-hmm.
that over here.
Mm-hmm.
Then another doc came out called Daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where this and I talked about this on the DOJ episode, which is a doc that's available on Netflix, by the way, folks. Um, I believe Time is available on Prime.
Hmm.
If memory serves me correctly. Well, I don't
I
know
mean,
how
it
I know that.
was. I don't know about
Thank
now,
you.
but it was.
Yeah. So, but with Daughters, what was glaring to me that I thought was just so beautiful was that this doc is about fathers who are incarcerated, who haven't seen their daughters. They are given an opportunity to do a father-daughter dance, given that they go through, I don't even want to call it like therapy, but like a group, weekly group, or I don't know if they met multiple times a week to talk about, being a father and being incarcerated. What does that mean? What are their hopes? Should they get out? What's the relationships that they want for, their girls? And so they have to be on their best behavior. I believe it was like
Mm,
6 weeks maybe that they went through this. And so obviously this is beyond a tearjerker, but the most glaring thing was that never once did they ever say what the father's crimes were or why they were
mm,
incarcerated, which I appreciated more
mm,
than I can say because the level of humanity that is lacking when it comes to, I believe, the rehabilitation of incarcerated individuals, which a major advocate for, especially like someone like the Menendez brothers, who
mm,
are also doing really incredible things for male sexual assault survivors in the prison system. Um, so when we're talking about Black stories and Black crimes,
mm.
I know these films, you said to me, you could never do it.
Yeah.
Talk to me about why.
Oh, I also like know Sing Sing, like even if it's
Ugh,
like
I haven't seen Sing
fiction.
Sing yet,
Yeah, like
but yeah, yeah.
I think you know that their crime is poverty
Hmm.
most of the time,
Hmm.
like whatever their situation is, even if you were, they each gave them 5 minutes to say why they're in jail.
Hmm.
First time they went to jail, second, third, fifth, whatever. Um, that would be the crime,
Yeah,
being poor.
yeah.
And when I was a kid, my mom worked at juvenile hall, like juvenile detention center.
I didn't know that.
Um, it doesn't come up very often, but it was
Of course,
when
yeah.
you'll see why it was is a core memory for me.
Sure.
Take your child to work day.
Hmm.
I'm like,
Mm.
uh, okay. I think I was between the ages of 7 and 9. Don't ask too much age, somewhere in there.
Wow.
And she took me to work with her, and they were just children. You know, some of them couldn't read. Not children, sorry. They were all teenagers.
Right.
At least to
You still
my
consider them children.
yeah, at least to my 7 and 9 year old
Hmm.
self,
Hmm.
they were all teenagers. I remember she I I'm not sure what her job title was, but sometimes she would literally just be like reading with them. Or
Hmm.
there was a greenhouse and there was a teacher that just taught them like planting and gardening, and they would, have their snapdragons and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And they had a basketball court, they would play basketball. So that memory of just seeing teenage black teenage boys, some Latino. I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing any white ones.
Hmm.
Um, just like existing. It was basically like, just like me going to a high school or something,
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel. I mean, it did. I saw some of them in shackles, but the way I felt there was just like I had visited a high school or something.
Yeah.
So I just think, and I know some of those kids didn't have parents,
Yeah.
like if you're stealing a car to get initiated into a gang,
Hmm.
And and then everyone's tossed like, where's your parents? I'm like, they're trying to get some in this
Yeah.
gang, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that that it's like I feel like those movies that you are Time and Daughters, the people that need to watch them are
Hmm.
not going to. The people that need
Mm.
to like see that what it's like inside, like what it's like to be inside a prison
Yeah.
as an inmate,
Yeah.
and you know recidivism and what opportunities there are so they don't end up back here. Like you cannot just like put someone in
Yeah.
jail for 18 months and release
Yep.
them into the same environment
Yep.
and expect something to be different because you
Hmm.
didn't they can't leave the state, they're on
Mm.
parole.
Hmm.
If you're releasing them somewhere where the unemployment's like really high,
Right.
that's also why like I did not like doing jury duty. I don't know if you've ever actually
Oh,
gotten
you
selected.
did?
Yeah.
No.
You've
I
never gotten
high
selected?
Oh.
What? You know why? It was during the strikes. And I like couldn't even think of I'm like, well, I actually don't know when I'm gonna have a job again. So I
Yeah.
guess I can come for a week. And of course my case was like this guy. Oh, it was like possession of a weapon.
Okay.
And then like if we and basically he didn't testify. It was like two other people
Mm.
that were also there and they got to testify. But they had
Wow.
clearly gotten a deal because they were in trouble for something else. You know what I mean? But like
Okay.
all these people, their real crime was poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people, like the whole crime took place in Section 8 housing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I was sitting there like, wait, pause. Let's like stop all this. Let's give them,
Wow.
50K. I bet they don't come back here ever
Yeah. Yeah.
again. I mean,
Right.
they might have people pay off, whatever. That's like not my business. But
Right.
yeah, I was just like, okay, even if he's guilty, or
Mm.
let's say he did do it, because if you're guilty of having a gun and then he's been in jail before, then that's actually two crimes because convicts can't have guns, whatever. That's like a bad way of saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you're not allowed to have a gun if you've been in jail, whatever.
Right.
So now that's two crimes. And like we can see his record, because then
Right.
if we say that he has been guilty of having a gun, then they're like, okay, he's been in jail before.
Hmm.
So now when is he going to learn that he can't have a gun? Like, why are you releasing him somewhere where he feels he needs a gun? The real reason I can't watch these because like I'm not just gonna watch like the images in front of me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I'm thinking
Yes.
like big picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the
And it,
daughter's going home. Who's she going home to?
yeah, I was sobbing the entire time. Uh,
That
so
sounds right.
so memories are a little fuzzy, but I believe that they did speak with the girls
Mm-hmm.
and with their mothers, the portrayals of these things, and me
Mm-hmm.
as a Latina, and the larger message there, right? Because especially when we're looking at this fucking administration too,
Mm-hmm.
I have to remember at the end of the day, every single person, criminals included, are most likely ridden with trauma in
Mm-hmm.
some capacity, right? And as most people like to say, which I absolutely hate this phrase of like, hurt people hurt other people. Okay, well, that
Mm-hmm.
may be true.
Yeah.
Um, not everyone with trauma is going out and murdering people
Mm-hmm.
or, causing more victims. So when I can see pieces like Time or like Daughters, at least for me, just like you said, there are other people who need to watch it that are absolutely not going to watch it. But I
Mm-hmm.
still think there is a benefit for people who do watch it regardless because like I said, my biggest messaging was that I didn't have to hear what they did. I
Mm-hmm.
could just see how much that process, even though I don't know these men, I don't know them on an individual basis, but seeing how important it was for them, let alone to now think about the daughters, right? Like for me, being able to see their faces, that moment where they are
Mm-hmm.
walking in the girls and they're dressed up and they're just ready. Fuck, I'm gonna start crying. It hurts because you're right. There's the probability of poverty being a huge factor in that is very likely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I scream about documentaries because it's going to give you the shortest lesson in the shortest amount of
Mm-hmm.
time that will hopefully leave you wanting more, whether that be you research more, you have more questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of docs to me, where it's like, yes, feature films can also carry the same type of, conversation or gravitas of that. But I think when you are looking at reality and you are looking at people who are actually eating, breathing, sleeping this concept, whatever that may be, that's the takeaway. And like I said, when we're talking about true crime as a whole, while
Mm-hmm.
no, those films probably would not be categorized as true crime, but I firmly believe they should be because this is still a conversation about crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the center piece of both of these pieces. So it's then giving more humanity to a true crime doc. And it is making you think and it's making you outraged and it's like all those types of emotions. That's important to me. Whereas if I go and I watch the series that my name is on that just came out that I'm not promoting, that I do not stand behind, that I do not want to actually watch because
Mm-hmm.
of how horrible it is and how problematic it is and how re-traumatic it is and uh victimizes these survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Um no, literally no. And I keep saying it, if that gets me blacklisted, then get me blacklisted because I would much rather spend my time consuming ethical true crime where I'm not walking away feeling like I am being I'm driving by a crime scene and I'm driving extra slow because I just want to see what's going on. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
all whatever, you know. No, that's why I'm asking you and why I wanted you on this podcast because
Mm-hmm.
it is important that we talk about consuming true crime as people of color,
Mm-hmm.
especially in America, especially when we are seeing all of these stories be amplified and they are white stories. And then we do get these small nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I can hold on to, right? And so I so appreciate that you watch the other ones too. Like you are watching, like I said, when you posted that you watched the Valo one, I was like,
I was like,
Crystal.
I watched it because Celene posted about it. I was like, Celene, what is this? I cannot believe the whole thing. I was like, especially because I've never been to Arizona. So I was like, oh, this is what goes on in Arizona. Okay.
I mean, it's Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Hawaii, and Texas.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Texas. So,
Everyone's
uh,
been to Texas. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I
it's a big
mean,
place.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if you hadn't posted about it, I don't know if I would have clocked it.
watching it. Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like usually the titles, if the title's good, I'll watch it. Like I watch I Just Killed My Dad
Hmm.
because, obviously I'm like, why?
Hmm.
And then I clicked on it.
Hmm.
But that's domestic violence again. I don't know if you
Hmm.
watched it. You did, right?
Hmm. What's wild is like I actually don't consume a lot of true.
Okay, this. Well, I told you I don't. Uh,
Yeah.
because some people fall asleep with it. I'm like, no, that's weird.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
seek help.
No, I can't. I have to cleanse my. See, and that's the thing. I think it's because I do work and
Mm-hmm.
it's also just my regular life. Like I've shared
Mm-hmm.
people, I have trauma survivors reaching out to me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So it's hard for me to want to like dig back
Yeah.
into, a series or whatever. I will say that recently I did watch the Menendez doc um on Netflix, and that was partially due to uh well, I watched one in 2020 that I believe was on Hulu, and that one was well done and kind of gave me the framework of Eric
Hmm.
and Lyle. And then watching the Menendez one, or the Netflix one, I'm sorry, for so that because I knew what kind of questions were going to be coming for me with Al Jazeera, and so consent was one of them,
Hmm.
and so I wanted to make sure that I at least watched this present doc, not the Peacock one, but the Netflix one, and it's those are the ones that I want to watch. Now, were there certain editorial things that I disagreed with? Can I nitpick? 100%.
Hmm.
That's just me in general. Um, but the overall takeaway was that thank God they made this doc, and thank God they broke it down the way that they did.
Hmm.
Because just as you said, you watched that doc, what was it? I Just Killed My Dad. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
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 So, when we're talking about crimes committed by children, and I'm doing air quotes,
Hmm.
um, including Gypsy Rose Blanchard,
Hmm.
along with the Menendez, I'm gonna go as far as saying my dear friend Tara Newell. When we're talking about the most severe of severe crimes, and while
Hmm.
I will never, ever, ever excuse unaliving someone,
Hmm.
there gets to a point where it's their life or the perpetrators,
Oh
and
yeah.
they are literally in survival mode.
Hmm.
So I fully have a lot of empathy and compassion for Gypsy Rose. I'm sure that's
Hmm.
probably very taboo to say, but I'm sorry. The level of
Yeah. Like what
torture.
was the solution?
How is she supposed to get out? And people are like, well, she could have just left. I'm so sorry to break it to you,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Let me break it down. But it is
You
called,
have
once
to
again,
admire how simple people's minds are, though. You're like, wow. So you're like happy every day. If your mind is just like that.
this is the critical thinking aspect that I have a really hard time with when it comes to Americans.
Yeah.
That I don't think is is really up there, and I'm not going to sit here and say like unless you go to college you'll get critical thinking skills. No, but things are
No.
not black and white, right?
Hmm.
Like these things are there's always going to be some form of gray. And that's
Hmm.
just life in general. If you really live by it is black or white,
Hmm.
prepare to just keep spinning in circles because there is going to be those factors. So, one of the last things I want to talk about with you, though, that I do think is equally important, we are also watching almost, not even almost, it feels like a cleansing with this administration when we are talking about actual Americans who are not white.
Hmm.
I know what every day feels like for me when I go on social media or I even
Hmm.
remotely see these fucking news reports that are obviously being filtered by this administration.
Hmm.
You already brought up DEI.
Hmm.
Where are you? I want to do a check-in on you.
Oh, okay. Um, okay. So where to begin?
Mhm.
Um, I guess I think about, I mean, I've kind of been this past like since 2014, or I guess since t October 2023,
Uh-huh.
I've been like over, it doesn't feel like it, but if I really think about like I've been like over ingesting information. I'm like, I need like everything. because
Yeah.
then I can reject, then I can really see like what's not true and what's very biased.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like people are very wary of what Trump does,
Mm-hmm.
but that's he's like one of the best scam artists in the history of humanity,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Because he, like where I grew up in southern New Jersey, I don't know if you saw like this past election, New Jersey was almost red. Like
Yes.
it was
Yes.
down to like 100. I mean, I won't say the number because I'm not a data expert, um,
Mm-hmm.
which was troubling
Yes.
because I'm like, okay, like because we're electing a governor this year,
Yeah.
so
Yes. Are you on
troubling.
the side of election interference or not?
Um, oh, I think the election shouldn't have counted.
Oh,
Not because
100%.
he, not even if he did or didn't interfere, not enough
Hmm.
people voted, right? Like if we see how many people did not vote, we're like,
Here's the problem though. You've got
yeah,
Starlink. You've got because and I will continue to point this out. Because
mm-hmm,
how is it that the last two election cycles,
mm-hmm,
especially 2020, how many days went by before we had a declared president? I
yeah,
also live in a area that is pretty 50-50.
mm-hmm,
The amount of Republican for Harris signs in my neighborhood were astronomical.
yeah,
I like the way that that night went and how
mm-hmm,
flipped the New Jersey aspect of that. I remember
mm-hmm,
clocking that specifically.
yeah,
And because I don't know what the actual number is of how many people actually voted because of these fucks. Like
yeah.
I
That's a
just
good point.
because
I,
I don't know.
but I feel like for me, I'm not surprised if people felt defeated
Yeah. Yeah.
and just were like, it doesn't matter because either way, I'm going to be in this defeated position anyway,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
very like pessimistic. But it's,
It's the truth.
yeah, I'm like, if you, people are, I mean, even now, people are getting laid off, not just the government people, but
Just in
people
general.
were getting
Yeah.
laid off when
Yeah.
Biden was in office. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure, like, what sign people were given that things would get better with either
Mm-hmm.
option,
Mm-hmm.
unless you were just blindly like, Trump is a scam artist. And that was like you're like, well, not that guy. So this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure like what would make you think, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sure what would make you think things are better.
I don't think if it was Harris, we would not be seeing DEI being rolled
Oh yeah,
backwards.
no,
I
there's
don't
like very
think like the
obvious
federal, yeah,
differences.
yeah.
But I'm just like
I
if you
understand. Like I get
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah.
Like that makes total sense. And right. Like have never lived on a side of like there is a perfect candidate. I believe that they are actually going to do X, Y, and Z, especially what
Hmm.
they just said on TV. Like I will
Yeah.
usually never sit there and be like, okay, that's actually going to happen. No,
Hmm.
because I know reality.
Yeah.
I've been alive for almost 38 years. I know I know
Mm.
reality, and I've been following politics since I was a curly-haired 4-year-old, 4 or 5-year-old. So,
Hmm.
that's a conversation for a different day. But like it is it is only March 6th from
Yeah.
January 20th, and I feel like I have literally have lived through
Hmm.
3 years of this shit already. I read something last night off of Blue Sky that I read what I hope to actually be what's happening behind the scenes. And I don't want to
Hmm.
get too much into it, but to my understanding, there is a level of litigation and
Oh yeah.
that might be the saving grace of this.
Yeah.
And the Democrats that are meeting on a drastic level that they have never met before. A lot of their behaviors that are on camera are a direct like report of how they should be acting
Hmm.
out there, which again, going with like my crime background, me going undercover for my podcast, I get it. Like I get
Mm-hmm.
what they have to do right now in that sense. I have hope. I look at Jasmine Crockett and I am like, please, please, like,
Mm-hmm.
don't leave us.
Yeah.
Just she's being so thinking and saying everything that we are all feeling. I mean, just the
Mm-hmm.
fact that asked her, if you could talk to Elon, what would you tell him? And her response was, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the type of behavior I want in DC right now from everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but some people are uh I don't know, sometimes I'll like posting on my Instagram story.
Of
Oh my
course.
God, don't you know like my Instagram story got deleted the other day because I think I took it too far. Um
Oh, you getting shadow banned?
um at least for no, they just like deleted my story. And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, okay, I guess this is the
jeez.
line. I guess I found it." Um what was I
What was the
saying?
line?
I'll tell you not here.
Okay.
Um but like I feel like it's kind of we do just need a reset in a lot of ways
Yes. Yes.
because I feel like I don't know if you've been reading like some some people are saying like the democratic strategy
Mm-hmm.
is to go center. I'm like you're in the center.
Mm-hmm.
You're not most. I feel like the actual difference between the left and the right isn't much.
Yeah,
Like we could
I would say
actually,
there's more moderate than like actual
yeah,
division.
because people like with Gaza and
Yes.
Palestine,
Yes.
people it's not even that like when I go on Facebook and there's Republicans and obviously I have to keep them around because I just need to know. I need to know what they're thinking.
Mm, mm-hmm.
They're like, first of all, stop getting money to Israel. We got problems here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about Palestine. They
Yeah.
just see money going there
Going over
and
there. Yeah.
America is here. And it's like,
Yes.
okay, so we're like united on that. Because if
Right.
I care about Palestinians and you just care that
About the
that
money
money is
aspect.
not in
Yes.
America, we're actually
Yes.
in agreement.
Yes. 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 This is
So
very smart. Yes.
yeah, so I felt like in January it was a lot of like finger pointing,
Yes.
right? It's like you voted for Trump, you're dead to me. You didn't
Yes.
vote, you're dead to me.
Yes.
I'm like, you probably have a lot in common with the people that didn't vote,
Yeah.
if we're gonna be honest,
Yes.
you know?
I've been
Like,
saying this. I've been
yeah,
saying this.
like
Mhm.
I feel like most of us are agree, this cutting people's Medicare,
Is
and it's
fucking fucked.
isn't like 1 out of 8 people are on Medicare or something. It's like a
Yes.
very high number.
It's a high ass number.
And I
Like,
didn't know that it Medicare paid for childbirth. I mean, it makes sense. I guess I just
yeah.
never really thought about it. I don't
I
have a
mean, it
baby,
makes
so
sense. Like
yeah.
because during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
I'll even share this that
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't working. Literally, Sundance was like my last
Mm-hmm.
job until I started working for Conveyor.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I was given Medicare or is it
Oh,
Medicare? Is it
I
Medicaid?
think everyone at some point. Okay, I
Got
won't
it,
say everyone. Not
but
everyone. More than
yes,
you think.
did get
More
it.
people than you think have been on a government aid
Yes,
of some sort.
of some sort. So when I did get that though,
Mm-hmm.
which I had for some time,
Yeah.
I have a full grasp and understanding of what that did. And oh my God, did it help
Mm-hmm.
me during
Yeah.
like that time? So thinking of those people, how is
Mm-hmm.
that not going to trickle into Trump voters or those who didn't vote?
Okay, Trump voters. Okay, I'm gonna say this because I'm from New Jersey.
Do it.
So when he built those casinos,
Hmm.
he did not pay the contractors.
I believe it. Hmm.
But why did that? That's Atlantic County.
Hmm.
Atlantic County went red for him.
Hmm.
I'm like, my people. You're not my people because why'd you do that? But he scammed you. Like
Yeah.
you were scammed by him
Yes.
when you were like 25 and you didn't
Hmm.
get paid. And now
Mhm.
you're 60
Yep.
and he got you again.
I am a firm believer,
Mm-hmm.
especially after working with cult survivors, speaking to so many different types of survivors. This
Mm-hmm.
is unfortunately
Yeah.
a similar product of this. And these people need to be deprogrammed. And when we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the level of misinformation that has
Yeah.
been put out there on social media, especially Facebook, because we know Facebook is like the breeding ground
Mm-hmm.
for this type of mentality. Um, because the other thing that I read was that once the election was over, a lot of like the bots and the commentary and all of that
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden just dissipated.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about, we are in agreement in
Mm-hmm.
different ways.
Yeah.
Um, it
Because
is
if,
so true.
yeah. Because if you're like, I want to pay less money in taxes,
Right.
it's like, do you actually want to pay less or you just want your taxes to actually help you? Because you probably wouldn't have a problem if your taxes also got you healthcare and then you wouldn't have to also pay $300 for healthcare or however
But
much
most
people.
people, right, but most people like it too because you do get some money in your
Mm-hmm.
pocket, right? Like for Americans, for me, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
as a freelancer, but
Mm-hmm.
there is a benefit. There is
Yeah.
a reward in that. So when I posted the other day about, what is the tax brackets? What does all of this mean for people?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I felt like that really broke it down. So again, it's like, do you understand the level of
Yeah.
you don't matter. Who
Yeah.
matters? The millionaires and billionaires. You don't like, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
not you specifically, but like,
Yeah.
obviously, like, this is the glaring issue here. And I am having such a hard time with people who are still, even the Republicans, but I'm so relieved to know that even the ones that are in my orbit are
Mm-hmm.
starting to wake the fuck up and being like,
Yeah.
okay, wait. So it is
Yeah. I
about
think the
how you,
Medicare thing is
yeah.
like really like,
I hope that and the veterans. I'm like,
yeah.
how many times has
Mm-hmm.
he said and has he shit on veterans?
Yeah.
What is wrong? Like, it
Mm-hmm.
drives me insane and it makes me so mad because I'm like, here I am, not really pro-military or
Yeah.
obviously, like,
But
I
now I
don't
have
have
to
that in
be.
me. But now,
Yeah.
but I'm like, but you are literally protecting our country, but yet you are going out of your way to protect this fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to support him and you're going to continue supporting him. That's why I'm saying it's all about deprogramming. I keep thinking back to fucking Barbie, even as dumb as that sounds, and I don't believe you even saw it, but there is
Mm-hmm.
literally a point where the women are like, okay, the men are over here fighting with each other, which I just picture that's just Elon and Trump at all times. And
Mm-hmm.
then the women go and take the like the government back over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the process to do that was to deprogram the other Barbies who were stuck in the misogynistic male
Oh.
belief system.
Yeah.
And when we're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about,
Yeah. You saw those articles that were like, how to secretly vote for Kamala if your husband.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like,
And
okay,
it
women
is,
aren't okay.
no.
Because
And
also, how
that's
would
the
you know who
part,
you vote for? You go by yourself. Anyway.
that's what I mean, right? Because it's giving this, when we're talking about this cult-like mentality, you are breaking that down to there's also that gender perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a Trump supporter is not going to necessarily think a woman is equivalent. Now, if there is one out there, great, good for you. But I'm going to say the vast majority do not think high regards of women as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about articles like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's literally like kind of what Greta was putting out there of like you have to remind these women or remind people
Mm-hmm.
that they do have that autonomy. They do matter. They're, obviously their bodies matter. I mean, the pro-choice, pro-life bullshit, like all of that. I've already had conversations with very conservative women to be like, you do understand that when we're talking about abortion bans, if you get pregnant here in the next, let's say a year or two, and you don't have a viable pregnancy or you have something happening to your feet, whatever.
Mhm.
It was like fireworks went off in their brain, and they're like, "What do you mean? They can't
Yeah.
help me? They can't help me." I'm like,
Yeah, why
"No,
do you think the women are dying?
no, 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 no.
Oh, and mature and infant mortality is up too in
Yes,
Texas. Like,
yes. Come on."
yeah.
Like that is what I'm saying. And I think when we are talking about, again, the misinformation, they are
Hmm.
solely just listening to these certain reports or they're on Facebook. So when you can
Hmm.
sit down and you meet these people and you have an open and honest conversation or just say, yeah, hey, like this is because why? Even in college, like I said, yes, I studied how cultures interact with each other, but that's also why I'm kind of like, I can't be in that mindset anymore of like, this person voted for Trump. They are completely dead to me. Yes, I was that person. And yes, I absolutely will own that till the
Hmm.
end of time. But I am also now realizing, oh, wait, no, I do have the ability to speak the same language as these people because I also work with a lot of law enforcement. I also am in a genre where I am around a lot of Republicans, where I was around a lot of Trump supporters, especially when
Hmm.
I'm out in the field, right?
Yeah.
So I actually know how to communicate
Yeah.
and how to meet them on that level. And so, over the last however many days it's been, it's like I've got to tread lightly with people, but I am starting to notice more people are feeling empowered to
Hmm.
speak their truth. I'm starting to notice that on Facebook, especially like with boomers. I'm starting to notice more while it's subtle, it's
Yeah.
happening. And that's the part where I am just crossing my fingers. I am putting in the faith of like something's got to give because if because
Yeah.
I mean even look at the planes.
Yeah.
Look at what's
No, I
going
think that that's also people's you're like, "Oh, why are we firing?" You're like,
Mhm.
"I can't fly a plane. I don't know
I'm
anyone that can
sorry.
fly a plane."
Watching a
You know?
plane completely flip upside down
Yeah.
and having to be hosed should be a pretty terrifying thing for most people. I mean, I
Hmm.
literally just begrudgingly bought plane tickets for next month and I am literally like, please.
Amtrak it. Amtrak it.
I wish I had the time. But it is very important that like I said, it was so important for me to have this conversation with you because I wanted to dig into that brain of yours and
Hmm.
really figure out how do we have this conversation? How do we talk about it? Because when you said, am I even qualified to do a podcast? Which
Yeah.
was
I
the
was like, "Who are these people?" I'm like, "You're interviewing like women with careers." And I go on LinkedIn and I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know what's going on this stupid thing, but I'll apply to a few things on here.
Ugh, no, because Crystal, I love seeing the world through your eyes. And I love just hearing what you think. And it is, and I'm not trying to be cheesy, but it is true because like I said from the jump, you are one of the smartest people I have ever met. And knowing that you are a younger millennial than me and you
Oh,
just
I'm like the last year of millennial. Like
well,
I
okay,
just,
fine. So I'm fully your elder then at that point.
well, no, no, no. Okay, here's the
Yes.
thing about you 80s babies. My brother is born the same year as you.
Okay.
So like there was always one of you around, you know what I mean? Like
That's
all
like me and Gen X. Yes, that's like my
yeah,
siblings who are Gen
yeah.
Xers or on the cusp.
So I'm like, yeah, Gargoyles, I watched it. I don't like it, but I saw it, Like all these things, all your little references, I'm like, that's corny, but I saw it.
Yeah, that
Stuff
makes
like
me
that.
happy. Well, but see, but that's why I was like, when I sat down, I'm like, all right, who do I want on off script this next season? I was just like,
We only
Crystal.
scratched the surface.
That's why I'm saying you're coming back. And I think this is a continued conversation because when you watch something and you're like, yeah, I've got thoughts, you tell
Hmm.
me, and we're gonna have a conversation because
Celene is never scared to share her thoughts.
you know,
Even
no,
if she has to say years later, that they were wrong. It's fine. She's only human.
Yeah. You know, it's bad when your father's speech at your wedding
Oh my God.
literally opens with, I finally got to a point where I just had to accept that Celene's gonna do and say whatever she's gonna do and say.
But were
And
you honored?
oh, I was like, it took that long. It took that many years. Okay, fine. It was my
Yeah.
marriage. Fine. If that's what it took, fine. But it was because I got married in
Mm.
7 months. So,
Celine, Celine,
and
Celine.
hey, it was the pandemic. A lot was going on, but yeah. So I like to say that, fuck around and find out is truly my motto. Like I
Mm-hmm.
hate it, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be a disruptor in this industry while educating people along the way. Like I said, if that gets me blacklisted, then so be it, but I'm still going to be talking
Well, I
about it.
think one hopeful thing about the Oscars, I was just listening to the Big Picture podcast. They
Did you
were
watch
sent,
them?
I don't watch award shows anymore,
Perfect. Okay.
but um, bigger conversation. But um, I didn't watch any of the movies besides the docs. But anyway,
Yeah.
what was I
Same.
saying? All of the things that were rewarded were independently made. And then, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what
Uh-huh.
era we're in. Like our
Uh-huh.
peers, I mean, everyone looks at
Mhm.
Oscars like in the industry, but I feel like
Mhm.
even the movies I'm recommending to my sister who only watches like 5 movies a year, literally, um, I'm like, no, you have to watch like this weird thing. Like just trust me, like it'll be a little weird, but it's
I,
good, you
I
know?
love you.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Everyone's fed up with the mainstream. So if you want to be
Mhm.
you're not quirky. Let me think of a word. Quirky is always the first word that comes to my brain because my brother once called me quirky, and I feel like that's like the only word when he looks at me, he's just like quirky. Like even if he doesn't say it, it's just like in his head. Even
Yeah.
march to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah. So do
It's
you.
in style
It
now.
is in style. And when he said, Sean, is that his name? Sean from Anoram?
Yeah, Sean Baker. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I believe he said something about like independent film. Yes, that is actually, to be truth be told, I don't watch the Oscars for the reasons that people watch the Oscars. I watch it
Mm-hmm.
to celebrate the independence
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the docs that have been either
Yeah.
given awards to or nominated are Sundance.
We didn't even talk
Um,
about the docs.
no, that's why I'm saying we need a part two because
Okay.
I mean, when we're talking about docs, obviously I could go on for days and days and days.
Well, the ones that were nominated.
Oh yeah, and I didn't get to see a good portion
Oh, okay.
of them. I didn't get to, this was the first Oscars that
Mm-hmm.
I really came unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
I would say usually between like September up until Fest begins is usually when I start like, okay, I think this is probably going to be nominated, this one, da 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 da. I start
Mm-hmm.
going through that process, and then right before Fest begins, I try to binge them. Now that I have a toddler, the NASA thing was happening, like the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, I didn't get the same time that I usually do.
Selena is an
So,
influencer,
no, I'm not an
listeners.
influencer.
Yeah. She's in her sponsorship. Uh,
Oh, era.
yeah.
No wish. But hey, but I'm in my when I talk about Reflect Wellness, I don't know, and I want to say this especially, they are a black owned med spa.
Med spa.
And
It's in Utah?
it's in Tennessee,
Oh, okay.
in right outside of Nashville. I can never say this name. It's like Murfreesboro. I'm butchering
Okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, yes. So I still try to live by my standards in terms of amplifying BIPOC creatives, but equally business owners. And I don't know. I don't know where life is leading, but all I know is that I keep screaming into a microphone and people keep asking me questions. And so knowing that, okay, it got to Al Jazeera. Okay, I'm on the right path somewhere. So when I talk
Mm-hmm.
about independent films and I talk about filmmakers like yourself, especially you, and we didn't even get into the full Crystal, which I do want to do because I want to talk about shorts and I want to talk about your actual artwork. But before I do, like before we go bye-bye, I want people to like look into you and look
Mm-hmm.
into your work. So can you do some self-plug-in right now?
Okay. I'm Christl Stringer. I'm an artist and a filmmaker. My Instagram is ChristLStringer on Instagram. And then on Twitter, it's the same,
Oh,
but
you're still
it's
on
like
Twitter.
pretty. I have to check in. I have to check
Yeah.
in, you
Hmm.
know?
That's understandable. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like oligarchs have always owned media.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
don't, I can't just not be engaged. So
Yeah.
that's my,
Okay.
maybe I'll work on that this year, how I'm engaging with things.
I like it.
Um, what else am I plugging? Oh, I have a Substack where I
Yes.
review ice cream flavors. It's called In the Lick of It, but also if you go on
Oh my
Substack and
gosh.
write my name, it'll show up. Lately, I've also been throwing politics in there in my review. So it'll be like, oh, the Snickerdoodle flavor. Why did Kamala win a NAACP award? Stuff like that. And then that's in the drafts. It's not
Oh,
published yet.
I
But
love you. Oh my goodness.
okay, what else am I doing? It is March.
Do you have any shows coming up? Because
Oh,
this will come out next Friday.
oh, next Friday. Um, in May,
Okay.
I'm gonna do art show in New York. Knock on
Okay.
wood. That's so
Knock
far
on wood.
away. I'm gonna take an Amtrak across the country. Maybe stop and see Celene. It'll be
You
my
do know I'm
third.
moving though, right?
It'll be my third time doing it.
Oh my
Offline.
gosh.
We
Okay,
don't.
we're gonna
We don't need
offline.
everyone to know where you're going. You know,
I know, but I'm
keep
just
some
letting you
things
know.
private. Um, I think that's it. Yeah, my
Okay.
Substack.
I'm gonna connect.
That's
So
it.
I will, in the episode notes, I'm gonna put your Instagram handle if you're okay with
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna do your Substack. Do
Hmm.
you have a website like if people want to buy your art or anything? But
Okay,
yeah, how
if
does
you
that work?
if you go on my link tree on my
Okay.
Instagram, um, there's a PDF.
Okay.
It says available works.
Okay.
I have to work on my website. It costs money to do that.
Same. I don't
Yeah.
have a website, but I'm starting to realize I need to have one. So
Yeah,
same.
especially because everyone's like, oh, I'm getting on social media. I'm like, oh, not yet. Give
Yeah.
me a few months.
Yeah. Okay. Crystal. Like I said,
Yes.
this is going to be a rolling conversation
Oh, yeah. I'll
because
be back.
we need
Trust
it.
me. I'll have
Okay.
opinions. I have
Oof.
more opinions right now. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even ask me about today.
No.
We really only covered like up till January 30th.
True. So, with that being said, yes, like I wholeheartedly just want to keep hearing what you're watching. Obviously, I'll be watching your letterboxd, but yeah, we're barely scratching the surface.
Hmm.
I have a feeling people are going to be like, "Please bring her back."
Yeah.
Please keep
Why are there
talking.
so many shows about presidents right now? You
Ew,
notice
really?
this?
No.
Yeah, I'm making a list.
Okay.
It'll be in the Substack.
Okay. Plus the ice cream. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, friends, thank you for listening. And again, please go look up Crystal. She's brilliant. And please buy some of her artwork too. So, okay, bye.